Hey, Steve. How you doing, pal?
Good. Rachel, you've come back.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? You hear in the background my mother cooking a mozzarella omelet. She was laughing at the military service line. Technology is something. When I was screwed up, I never really embraced how much fun you could have, and I just thought it'd be fun to put out a movie quote every day. So I did a little Animal House.
You do it really well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you get into the role. Some people just do it. You act it out.
Yeah, that is why I didn't go to law school, because all that was in my head. I filled up my head with useless stuff I thought was useless, and then I got the one job where I need to use it. But yeah, that's a classic of all classics.
So how you doing? How you feeling? It's so great to have you in here, man. From
Steve,
the last time.
I love you, buddy. You've been so nice to me over the past few years. I feel fantastic. I got 8 months clean next week.
Right.
It's been a long road. Our friend Kevin Mira helped me get into the retreat. The retreat got me off of heroin, and then this last go round, I went to a place called Turning Point in Patterson this last 3 months, and they helped me get off everything else, a combination of those two amazing places. But I really got to give props to Turning Point in Patterson. I was there for 3 months. My counselor, Sarah, there's a guy named Bugs there who's a guy who's called a counselor aide who they helped save my life. So I feel fantastic. Props to Turning Point, and I'm alive.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be 52 in a few weeks, bro.
You believe that?
I don't believe that. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah.
Well, first off, I got to thank you for coming here to New Jersey 101.5. Artie, you could have gone anywhere. And the fact that you came here means so much.
Well, listen, Steve, I love you, and I love the show. And like I said, I had a busy day. I got to be in probation tomorrow at 9 o'clock, but I said I'm going to drive down here because I love you guys so much. So it's good to be here.
We really appreciate it. Now, I got to ask you, though, what are you doing this time that's going to make the rehab work?
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, I have more consequences in my life than I've ever had before. Now, if I screw up this time, there's jail involved. I've been going to jail since the 80s on and off, but now, at 52 years old, I'm as the young kids say, I'm not beat for that anymore. I don't feel like seeing my mom upset anymore. I got great friends. My career somehow, I say it all the time. 3 fiancés left me because of drugs. Drugs saved me a lot of money. The divorces would have been way more expensive than the drugs. But now it's like enough already, man. I got to try to. Comedy is the one thing. People like you and my career and my fans are the one thing that has not abandoned me, and I got to start being grateful for that. Show some gratitude and do this the right way.
There's so many people that love you. And you know that. You go. I've been on the road. I've seen people run up to you crying. I hear about Artie, take this medal and all that.
Yeah.
But if you really Artie's friend now, and we all love Artie, you don't give Artie a drink.
Yeah.
You don't give Artie a joint. You don't give him crack. You don't give him heroin.
Well, I got to tell you, I appreciate you saying that, but you got to take responsibility for yourself as an adult. Over the years, you could say no to that stuff. I always tell you, the devil is not going to look like me with cocaine. The devil's going to look like a hot chick with cocaine. That's what the devil. That's what the devil looks like. There's a lot of guys dead and in jail because of women, there's a lot of predators out there. But you got to be strong. I'm an adult. I can say no to stuff. I'm not one of these drug addicts that blames everybody around them for their problems. I got to be strong and do what I got to do.
Well, we're going to have to do the traffic pretty soon.
Of course. Traffic is one of my favorite things about the Steve Trevlise Show.
Hang out. I'll be right back. 283-101.5, Steve Trevlise. He said he was going to be here. And Artie Lange says he's going to be somewhere.
The new Artie Lange.
The new Artie Lange.
Right.
Man, this is a totally different Artie Lange. Not that you were hysterical the last time, but look at you. You're all happy and cheery.
Happy and cheery is a new thing.
Yeah.
It's funny. My hair went. I was always getting gray, but my hair went gray, man. And I don't care. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that's like Bob Levy with the jet black hair. Nick DiPaolo had a great joke about Bob, because Bob had Richard Nixon's neck, an old person's neck, and jet black hair. And he said, if you have somebody to guess your age and their first guess is 72 and their second is 28, you look at your neck at 72, your hair it's 28. Bob pulls it off. He looks kind of cool, but I don't think I could do that. So I left it all white. I mean, I look ancient.
No,
I finally got the kind of hair I could hide cocaine in. I got the right color, and now I stopped doing it.
And you're keeping the nose too, right?
Well, you know, it's funny. I have a couple of offers from TV shows to fix my nose on television, and I don't know. I'll get to that when I can. I can breathe out of my nose, but like I said in a couple of interviews, it's a total reminder of the craziness of my life. When I look in the mirror, and I would tell young kids in rehab, I went to rehab with a lot of young kids whose lives are in shambles because of drug abuse. I mean, either selling dope or blow or doing it. And they're 22 years old. They're living under a bridge. They're looking at prison time. Their families won't talk to them. And again, it's just they suffer from, you want to call it a disease, where they suffer from this thing where they're either addicted to quick money or a high. And I would tell them, look at me, guys. I would say to these kids, I'm 30 years older than you. I'm still in jail. I'm still in rehab. Look at this nose, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, look at me. I look like a boxer. I never boxed in my life. It's a fight you're in. I would tell these kids it's a fight for your life. You don't want to be old. And a lot of them looked up to me. They would say, you know, because I had success in life. There was a TV in the back of the rehab I was just in Patterson, where these kids, you know, they could do anything. These kids with a phone. They come out of the womb. They know how to work like YouTube and stuff. So they would find all my stand-up on YouTube. They'd see stuff on Stern, and the movies I did. They would watch them, and then they talk to me. A couple of them have my books, and they said, "Well, you had so much success in life, and how'd you do that?" And I said, "Well, you know, you should definitely look up to people who've had success like me, but look at my failures. You know, look at what I think I could have been so much more." They respect the fact that I'm somewhat famous,
right?
But I said, look at what I did wrong, guys, and don't do that. You know,
so no, it's, you know what? It's a great way to look at it. You know, my sons at 12, they see the funny stuff.
Yeah, right.
I showed them Dirty Work.
Yeah. Dirty Work's PG-13.
Yeah, they just got to the edge there.
Right.
But you care so much. I mean, it's the one thing about you. No matter what you went through, you always worry, how's Bob doing? How's this one doing? How's that one doing? You know, you don't worry about yourself as much as you worry about other people. You seriously do have such a big heart when it comes to that.
Thank you. But, you know, again, I just think it's like the It's a Wonderful Life thing. Hey, Kevin Bear, there he is.
There he is, Jimmy Stewart, right here. It's a Wonderful Life.
Good to see you.
Kevin Mira, City of Angels in the house.
I got to say something about Kevin. Again, like I said, I was in rehab in Patterson, New Jersey. Great place, Turning Point. I give it a bunch of props. But there was a lot of kids from the Hamilton area, a lot of kids from Trenton, a lot of kids from South Jersey. They all know Kevin. They all love him. They all love him. They're like anybody. When you bring, they say they would tell me, you know, because in rehab, the place I was in, there was 80 guys on like a hospital floor, and when you have a smoke break, everybody's out there. You get smoke break therapy, and you get a lot out of talking to fellow addicts about their experience, where you're from, type of thing. They would say, a couple guys said Hamilton, that area, and I would ask about Kevin. They go, "Oh, yeah, Kevin, City of Angels, we love him." They know how great of a guy he is. So you're loved, buddy.
See that? You are loved. He tells me that every day. I get a text. I am loved. That's how I know.
But it's like these young,
now he's got witness back
these young hip hop kids. Like, yo, man, yeah, Kev's like my OG, man. Kev's a good man, man.
I know you're telling the truth about the guys from Hamilton, because one of our guys, Chris, came home. He was all excited. He said, I met Artie Lange.
You were telling me that today.
All right, hold up. How's your recovery?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, by the way. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got Artie Lange here. You're going to hang out tonight, right?
Yeah, I'll be around.
All right, we're going to do fun things.
All Jersey, all the time.
It's like your chime time is 9:08. I'm Steve Trevlise.
Whatever gets you through the night. It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right. Artie Lange is in the house tonight.
The great John Lennon.
The great John Lennon. Oh, man. Like I said, it is so good. I've never heard you this good. You are so happy. You are cheery. Look at you.
My mother, you know, not an educated woman. Didn't get far in school, but she's insanely intelligent. My mom. She says deep stuff, and she the first time she came to visit me in rehab after I was in county jail for 2 months. I was in a crazy halfway house for 3 months, and then when she first came to visit me in this last rehab, she said, "I haven't seen you in so long." And I said, "Ma, I just saw you a month ago. You came to visit me." She goes, "No, I haven't seen you in 30 years.
Wow.
That hit me. That hit me hard, because I'm lucid more, and again, the luck thing, I shouldn't be around, man. I went through a lot of craziness. I wrote a 4th book in jail, a rough draft that I'm going to, eventually get published. It seems it's called Ripping and Running, Life on Drug Court. And I'm telling stories I never told before. Like, there's stuff I lived through that I should not be here. I really should. I mean, I got somebody watching out for me.
I was going to ask you that. Like, the Beatles went to India, came back with the White Album. Yeah. You go to rehab. You must have come back with a novel.
No, I got to tell you, I'll tell you this story about, they tell you that hopefully you have like a spiritual awakening of some sort. My old man was a big fan of the magician Houdini. And Houdini had a thing with his wife. His big thing was he wanted to debunk psychics. Right. And he had a thing with his wife where he said, when I die, we're going to have a secret word that just you and I know. And if you go to a psychic and the psychic tells you that word, he's really talking to me from beyond. Now, she tried, 50 years after his death, she tried to go to psychics. The guy, no one ever told her the word. And I don't know what the word was, but my old man was about to die, and he kind of knew it. We were talking, and he said, why don't we have a word, me and my dad? Right. And like a secret word that if you ever see this word, you'll know I'm talking to you, and I'm watching out for you. So his father worked at Otis Elevator in Newark. He was a factory worker. So he said, I said, why don't we make the word Otis? Like, if I see Otis, you're in my life. So in the last 30 years since he's been dead, the word Otis I've seen it every once in a while, but nothing really where I go, wow, that's really like he's talking to me. So this last time I come out of jail and I go into a rehab, I got 5 months clean. I really feel like I'm getting this. And I meet a guy at the rehab, and he says, I won't tell you how I met him. It's a long story, but he said, Artie, I knew your dad. And we're just talking. And he goes, really? You just got out of prison. And he goes, yeah, I knew your father. And, your father hated drugs. Your father was a crazy guy, but he hated drugs. And he would hate that you would become a drug addict, but he would love that you're getting better. And he goes, I love seeing you. He was crying. He said, it's almost like I'm talking to you for your dad. And he hugged me, and he goes, he would love that you're getting better. Please do this for your dad. And I said, that's amazing. So I get to know him a little bit. And I said, what prison did you just get out of? And I swear to you, he said, Otisville.
Oh, my God.
He said, Otisville.
Wow.
And wow. Steve, I'm going to tell you something. I got taken aback. Like, he said, he saw I was visibly like, what's wrong? And I told him that story, and he started to cry. Like, I said, that is the single most spiritual thing. Not just Otis, like Otisville.
Yeah.
Like a land of Otis.
The whole.
Which is a federal prison, Otisville. And the guy said, I just got out of Otisville. And I said, if that's not my dad. He said to me before he said that, he goes, it's like I'm talking to you through your father. And he said, your father would want you to get better. And then he tells me he just got out of Otisville.
That is amazing. You get choked up hearing that.
No, is that crazy or what?
You keep the connection with this guy?
I have his number, and I'm going to talk to him. But it's, I want to get into details, but it's a long story. He's doing better. But that's what I've been going through. Like, stuff like that has been happening to me a little bit. And I just went to do my first stand-up on the road, and I was nervous going back into it. I pull into the Tropicana where I'm doing my gig in Atlantic City, and I took a picture of it. The first thing I see is an Otis elevator truck. I swear to God, it said Otis on the, and I sent it to my mother.
Now you see him, now you're feeling him everywhere.
Well, no, now it's like, get the hell out of my way.
Look, it's Otis Day in the night, so let's go check in.
Yeah, there you
check
go.
him out.
There you go. Animal House. So I don't know, man. If that, I mean, I'm not Mr. God, but that's nuts.
That's an experience. That's a revelation.
Yeah.
Speaking of revelations, we have a little, not a blast from your past, or maybe a blast from your past. Right. Do you remember Nick Ferroni from Union High School?
Of course.
He calls to say hi.
Of course.
Hey, Nick.
Artie, how are you?
Hey, Nick, how you doing, pal?
I'm really, really good. I'm so happy to obviously talk to you and see how you're doing. I just wanted to tell you, I don't think he knows this, Steve, but whenever I give any lectures on speaking or talking to teachers about how to inspire students, I always bring up Artie and Ed Wazizak.
Yeah, Mr. Wazizak, my 7th grade social studies teacher. It was a great one. I don't know if he's still around. I had him on my old DirecTV show.
Absolutely, he's still around.
Yeah. He was, some teachers, they don't influence you at all. He really embraced. Every other teacher would kick me out, give me detention, I get suspended. Right. He said, I know how to take this energy I had and my humor and use it to make me learn and other people learn.
And it worked out for you.
And he's also the football coach in my junior high. An amazing guy. Well, thanks, Nick. Yeah, that's great.
We got.
I always, anytime I speak, I always say how it's like some perceived misbehaviors are a student's greatest asset. And I always tell the story about how Ed Wazizak inspired me to become a history teacher, and he obviously was one of the few teachers who kind of supported your talents and your skills and kind of gave you that platform.
It's funny, Nick.
All matter of perception.
It's funny, Nick called in. So listen to this. So about this rehab I was just in. I was there for 3 months, so a lot of stuff happened. We're watching. They would put New Jersey 12 News on.
Right.
Nick, I swear this happened. So we're watching New Jersey 12 News in the morning. Me and 80 convicted felon drug addicts. All right, before breakfast.
Usual demo.
And there's Nick. Nick's on TV. Sexiest teacher in New Jersey. I said, I know that guy.
Anybody want to hang with you?
Yeah. They said, well, the sexiest teacher in the room. Yeah, Nick. So I saw it was like a couple of months ago or something.
Yeah, I was doing a campaign I did a campaign called No Summers Off to show that teachers work multiple jobs over the summer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, we got to get Artie in the Union High Hall of Fame. How do we do that?
Now, just so you know, I'm officially in charge of the Union High Hall of Fame.
Are you serious?
Wow. There you go. I got an in.
Artie, you're my priority, and you're going to be the first person that I put in, and I get in.
There you go.
What would they name at the school after Artie? What would they name?
I think a urinal. I think that.
And the plaque has to be eye level.
Artie Lange smoked weed here.
Artie, I'm sure they're the same urinals, I hate to say.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I hope they change the ice. But that's great, Nick. Let me know. I'll get my speech ready.
Will. I would love to see you either way, but I definitely will. And Steve, we're going to work on that.
You got it, pal. Absolutely.
Have a great night.
All right, Nick. Good talking to you.
Thanks for calling. New Jersey 101.5. All right, we got about 2 minutes, but real fast. Chris has been waiting to talk to you, and she's a huge fan. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you.
Okay. So in 2009, Artie, you played the Masonic Center in San Francisco. And my brother was in charge of my brother was in charge of security there, and he knew Sequoia. And we own a liquor store in Lavallette, and my brother was like, hey, send some stuff for Artie. He loved being a Jersey.
Right.
So I sent that. Listen, it cost us like $100 to send it out, right?
Right.
So we sent it out. I say to my brother, I was like, dude, did you meet Artie? How'd it go? He was like, I don't know. I know it got in his room. Then in 2005, right? He was sort of a chucklehead like you are.
Right.
So anyway, so my brother unexpectedly passed away in September of 2012, a month before we were devastated with Andy, right? So anyway, I always thought, it was like, I can't believe you didn't even meet him. You don't even talk to him. You didn't even talk to him about the liquor store, right? So January 1st of 2015, you posted a photo on Facebook of you and Robin Quivers, and you were wearing our liquor store shirt. And I can't thank you for not dying, because you gave me a sign that my brother, I wasn't the chucklehead you thought I was. See, he got your stuff, and I just want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for that. So,
wow.
And it takes 5 years. I talked to Goose, and I was trying to get Goose to tell you. I sent a letter to Steve to let you know, and I just want to thank you for that.
You got to tell him yourself, Chris.
Again, let me tell you something. Spirituality, it's funny. I played a lot of gigs in San Francisco. I can remember the gig she's talking about. It was 3,000 people, sold out. It was the biggest gig I ever did in San Francisco. And I stay at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel when I'm out there. Mm-hmm. And it must have gotten my room. And I tried, if anybody ever sent me like a local business, especially Jersey, I would get it all over the country, I would try to wear the shirt. And I'm glad. I'm so happy. I'm glad you saw that, Chris.
What a good guy. 1-800-283-101.5. Artie Lange in the house. Here's New Jersey 101.5 Fast Traffic. Coming up at 10. Artie Lange in studio. I think he went outside for a smoke, Kevin Mira.
Here.
So, can you believe how good he looks?
Yeah, he's doing great, isn't that? They say you get everything back in recovery. That's an example of it.
But you know what? For as many times as he's tried, I've never seen him look this good. There he comes now. Right? So smoking's the only vice left, right?
I tell you, you can't give up everything.
No vaping, though. Vaping's not good.
No, you know, I sold a minor an e-cigarette. They got me for statutory vape. That's one of my new current event jokes. Now,
Day 12 in the rehab center. Mighty drill.
That's funny. You talk about getting stuff back in recovery. Again, my career never totally abandoned me, but my health was going, man. Everything, you stop putting poison in your body. You know, who would have thunk it? You get better physically. Like my diabetes is better. There's a great doctor in the Essex County Jail, Dr. A. And this sounds like a loser statement, but every time I go to Essex County Jail, he takes care of me. He gets me an egg carton mattress. Yeah, right. I do request him. It's funny. There's this nurse. This nurse, this black woman, this nurse who was a doll there, but I didn't think she remembered me from the last time I was there. She took my blood sugar, and it was like 98. I go, that's pretty good. She goes, better than last time. I'm like, oh, you do remember me. That's sweet. But if you're a diabetic in jail, they get you up every day at 5 a.m. They wake you up in your cell, and you go take your blood sugar. And he goes, after like 3 weeks, I was there a month this last time. He goes, we're going to stop doing it. He goes, I don't know what you did, but you reversed diabetes. And I stopped doing drugs. I got healthier. Yeah, in recovery. So yeah.
It makes it work, you know. It turns it the opposite way, and it gives you more incentive to stay clean.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, I didn't think. When I first went into the rooms, it was court ordered because I got arrested in Los Angeles in the 90s for possession of coke, and I took a big drunken swing at a cop, and I completely missed him. Thank God. It was like assault on a cop. So I was in L.A. County Jail, and if you would have told me at 28, I was 28 at that point. If you would have told me, you know, in 1996. Something about 2019, I would have said that's like a Jetsons episode. I would say to you, I'm not going to be here, man. I'm running too fast. I'm not going to be here in 2019. Why care about it? Yeah. And I never cared about it, but now I do. I want to be alive for a long time. I feel good.
And we do, and all your fans do. Yeah. And we want you around. You kick ass Saturday night in Atlantic City. Yeah. I know, like the Post wrote a review. I wrote a review for 1015 for our website, NJ1015.com.
Yeah, you guys are very nice to me. Yeah. Now, the crowd was great. It was 2 sold-out shows. Yeah. The late show, I did an hour and about 5 minutes. It was great.
And the love that was pouring for you. Yeah. By God, you did allude to the fact that the lines of communication are open now between you and Howard?
Well, I got to tell you, he was very nice to me through the press when his book came out. And I was pumping gas at an Exxon station.
Reading his book.
Yeah, reading the book. I'm reading interviews I did with the President of the United States with Howard in a book, and someone goes, hey, fill it up with regular. My crazy life. But he in every interview where they brought up my name, he was like, you know, I feel for Artie. And I got to say this, too. Howard's been very sweet, and he kind of alluded to the fact that he might have some guilt over what happened. He should have no guilt. All Howard did was try to help me. All he did was give me the best job ever, and I take full responsibility. He had no choice but to let me go. I was going to die, and he tried to get me help. He got me into rehab a couple of times, and I would leave. And my crazy life, he was in my crazy life, and I don't think he knew what to do after a while. When a junkie is in your life and you care about them, you know, they start to rip your heart out. So Howard, I love him. He did nothing but help me, and he's got no reason to feel any guilt, you know.
Would you ever go back there? Would you ever go back to morning radio?
I don't know about morning radio.
That's what I mean, because after what you said it did to you.
Well, you know, I mean, look, if I could, I want to get before I make any decision that I have, like, where I have a schedule that's insane, I would want a year clean. like I said, I got 8 months. I don't want to rush anything. The lifestyle, I'm going back on the road. I got a podcast I'm going to do called Artie Lange's Halfway House. It's going to start in a few weeks.
Excellent.
You know, that's an easier schedule. You know, I saw Howard is the reason I think me and Howard were entertaining was because he's probably the most disciplined human being on the planet, sitting next to the most undisciplined. You know,
Oscar.
Right, exactly. Live with your pots, your pans, your ladles, you meet them up. And if you ever want to ring a bell, we were the odd couple. That's why I work. But and I respect how disciplined he was. If I get a year clean, God willing, and it's one day at a time, maybe I would certainly love to go back as a guest on a show if he was into it. But I have to reach out for him. I'm gonna give him a call and we'll see what happens.
You could see that you two. You could see in his interviews, you know, that he really loves you. That there's something there that it really hurt him. Like when you read like the New York Times piece. Yeah, you know that was. I feel terrible about that because the ones you like, Kevin will tell you, the ones you love suffer as much. My mother said something else deep. My mom said, "When you're in jail, it's like I'm in jail." Mm-hmm. And Howard had to sit next to me every morning, and the other people, Robin is such a sweetheart. Freddie Norris is a genius, and he was my good friend there. And they're watching me, die on the air almost. It's crazy. Have you heard from any of them? Anybody else connected with the show?
I did a podcast for a guy who used to work there, Grillo, today, and Timmy Sabian, who was the...
Sabian's the best.
Sabian's my favorite. I saw Timmy today.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I talked to them. And Dougie Goodstein and some of the guys. Casey Armstrong, I love all those guys.
I worked with Tim for 5 years at YSP.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was classic radio. When Howard in the morning, people don't realize Philly's the first town Howard syndicated in. Mm-hmm. In some ways, because Howard, I was glad Howard did America's Got Talent because he got to do the road and see what he created. Yeah. You would see the love in every city. I would do stand-up on the road. I say, Howard, you got to see like St. Louis. I mean, we were on all over the country and in Canada. And, like I said, that woman who called, I was selling out San Francisco, 3,000 miles away, just talking into a microphone. Howard created that. Philly, man, was maybe bigger than any market we had.
Oh, yeah. It was the first one. Yeah. And I was there from the beginning. Right. Doing the updates. And, the first time he came down, like for the parade or with the books, it was so, like, lines going all the way up for blocks on South Street. Remember Jay Leno walked in. Just to see what was going on.
I understand how I feel. Let me tell you. I try to teach young comics how to do certain impressions. Here's how you do a Jay Leno impression. You talk really high with a lisp, and then out of nowhere you deep in your voice. You're like, yes, I understand you're dating somebody. How's that going on? Yes, I understand you're dating Justin Timberlake. How's that going?
1-800-283-101.5. Artie's in the house. It's 9:30. You don't have to worry about this when you podcast, right? You can just go.
Again, like I said, because I was on the biggest radio show ever, I don't know how to do radio. Howard did none of this. He just didn't care.
Tell me about it. We had to play the commercials and follow him with the big basket for the poop. Oh, is he going to go now? No, not yet.
Oh, no. Absolutely. He just did what he wanted. And then, we were supposed to be off at 10. He would go at 11, 11:30. I mean, that's when you got that kind of power.
When the breaks would come, God forbid, because they had a New York feed, right? Yeah. K-Rock run the commercials. Yeah. And then down at YSP, we had the match. So we had to wait for them to go into a break and then play our commercials. And God forbid, if Sabian ever heard 92.3 K-Rock, there'd be hell to pay.
Oh, because it was Philly.
Yeah, you got to get that. That cannot be on the air.
Yeah, the Howard, again, it was rock and roll. People forget what radio, this is real radio, what you do. This is real radio.
We're stuck with elements.
You got to hit posts, breaks, weather, because radio was information before entertainment, but now it's both.
Kevin Meara is with us from City of Angels, the founder, the CEO. We were talking during the break, and you had a great question for Artie.
Oh, yeah. So, first, I just want to say, Artie, a couple times tonight you said, I shouldn't be here.
Right.
But in this tough world, when you're on stage, you give people that moment of laugh. You provide them some happiness. Think of it. But one of the things we were just wondering is when you're in rehab and you're starting your recovery and you're kind of reflecting, were you ever thinking, wow, will I still have it when I get out? Am I going to be?
Yeah, that's always, I've had 52 comebacks right now, and this feels the best because, like I say, I somehow made it to this age and I'm calmer. But you always say to yourself, Can I do it? Like George Carlin used to say that a lot. It's funny, when I was in jail, my lawyer, Mike Robbins, great guy, he sent me a lot of reading material on top of writing I was reading. And I read a great article George Carlin did for Playboy in like 1982. And he was talking about coming off of cocaine, the fact that he got off of cocaine. And, you know, he talked about how terrible that drug is. And it is just terrible. I mean, cocaine and heroin, there's just nothing good about it at all. But when you do, it lies to you. Drugs lie to you. They say, you need me, you know, you need me to do anything. So when you're a performer and you're on stage, you go, do I need to be high? Do I need to, and without question, I'm a million times better straight. I'm a million times better not high.
What's it like being up there? Like now, like when you did the show Saturday in Atlantic City, what was it like being up there not high? Just being able to think and coherently appreciate what was happening to you.
Well, as long as the audience is high, they'll laugh. Yeah. It doesn't have to be me. I always say, it's like I can't get drunk anymore, but I hope women still get drunk so I can have sex. I tell you what, there's a rush. Again, if you're a performer, you get this. It's funny, when I told you, Bruce Springsteen, who just turned 70, there's a story I tell in one of my books. He called me once, and he shared with me a lot of amazing things when he called me on the phone. This was back in 2010, and he talked to me for like an hour and a half, and he goes, "How you doing, man?" Bruce talk, and he knew he was one of my heroes, and it helped me out a lot. And he said, I never had a real problem with heavy drugs, but I knew a lot of guys. You talked about Neil Young and people he helped get clean. And I thought that was amazing, because Quincy Jones did the same thing with me with Miles Davis and Charlie Parker when I was on Mad TV. Quincy produced that show, and Quincy was like a second dad to me back then. And he goes, "Yeah, man, you a funny cat, man. Miles Davis was screwed up, and I'm like, I'm a guy who just loaded trucks." So Bruce is talking to me about Neil Young and stuff, and I said to him, I go, "Dude, when you're up there, and you get that energy from the crowd, because that is a buzz. That's like a high. It's like a hit of heroin, man. When you get that energy." I would say to him, how do you come down? And because seeing him, I've seen him all over the world. I saw him in Paris. People know his songs in French. That's a high. Yeah. That's a high. 4 hours of him singing these songs, this electricity, an hour of stand-up, I get it. I said, you didn't have problems with drugs. How did you come down from that? And he goes, "Well, I'm a big reader." I'm like, "Well, so am I." But that didn't work after a while. Some people just have the discipline to they cannot go there. Some people aren't addicts. There really are there is that thing, I guess, where, the disease part, they call it the ism part of alcoholism, whatever, is some people can put it down. Some people can put it down knowing the consequences. I kept picking up drugs after shows to try to come down, to try to keep that high going, because I guess I have that ism. I have that disease part where I got to keep it going. And no matter what the consequences are, you will get high. Jail, prison, health, women leaving you, your family leaving you, your friends leaving you. And he told me, he goes, you gotta get spiritual. And that's what everybody in NAAA, it's not a religious program. They tell you it's a spiritual program. You gotta have some sort of spiritual awakening to where you say, I don't need this anymore. The high I get on stage is enough. A human being doesn't have to be high all the time. Right. There's times you don't feel good. You have human emotions. The problem with heroin, the withdrawals come back. Not only are they physical, all the emotional pain that you're masking comes back like a tsunami.
How about that?
And the depression comes back. So you're dealing with cramps and throwing up and puking and everything. And also all this depression that comes back, because you're also masking that emotional pain. You got to let yourself feel something. So I feel on stage, I get it on stage, I love it, and then you got to just try to come down, go to sleep naturally, and be a human being.
What happened when you got off stage in Atlantic City then? Like now you're doing a show and you're not high anymore.
I keep moving. You wait around, you get your check. That's a high. You get paid to do something you love.
Finding the club owner's a high.
Oh, I know. You get paid way more. Well, I'm saying, a counselor finally sat me down and said, when are you going to get grateful? When the F are you going to get grateful for what you have? People don't have this. You go back to something you love.
You always seem grateful to me, though.
Well, if you're doing drugs on a level I was doing and going to jail and having these consequences, it doesn't show gratitude. It shows like you're taking it for granted. And I got arrogant. You know, I never seemed to. You get arrogant. Your ego gets stroked all the time, man, and you feel like a rock star. But I got on stage. I got paid. I settled down. I took a shower in my hotel room. I got in my car. I put the radio on. I put Backstreet's on by Springsteen.
There you go.
And and the Stones and all these guys I love. And I drove home with the window open and a cigarette. That's what I do now, you know. And listen, I can't. Here's the other thing. I can't put pressure on myself as an addict. Kevin will tell you this, dealing with addict. I can't guarantee everybody. I can't put pressure. I can't guarantee you I'm never going to get high again. I'm pretty sure between right now, and the walk to the car, I'm not going to get high. And then you put little 5-minute pieces together, they become days, and then you get time. You get time. I can't guarantee you I'm not going to get high tomorrow. But today, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get high. And that's all I can guarantee. You know?
And we're all pulling for you.
Yeah,
1-800-283-101.5. Stick around. Artie Lange is in the house.
Under pressure.
Kevin Mira is here.
Present.
The great Kevin Mira.
The great Kevin Mira.
Oh, yeah.
CEO, co-founder, City of Angels.
Tape that and send it to my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It was
I'll play up.
It was only 10 months ago that you came in here and we were all together.
Right.
You announced you were going into rehab.
Yeah.
And now look at you.
Well, again, like I say, I got to give the retreat props. The retreat got me off of heroin.
Yep.
And when the cocaine was see, that's where I know I'm a drug addict, man, because I got heroin out of my life. Jail was a consequence. And I said, well, I could, and then someone says to me, I was starting to get the shots of Suboxone, which somehow weaned me off it. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had Suboxone in months either. I'm totally clean now. Totally clean. Nothing.
God,
I mean,
so
that really is like, I don't have any medication in me, nothing. You can't have anything on drug court anyway. I mean, you can't have a Benadryl. But, Kev came to court and advocated for me, and he said, the heroin's gone. It's progress. And I thank you for helping me to get into the retreat. And then, it took me 8 months to really get everything out of my life.
We were sitting there outside of court one day, and I said, Artie, you want to hear something funny? And he kind of looked at me and laughed like, I'm not the comedian here. But I said, you know what? If you were an alcoholic, you wouldn't be here right now.
Right.
How
Because it's
about
legal.
that, right? Because it's legal. That's our crazy
I got to
system.
tell you, man, the people who are strictly alcoholics have been drinking nonstop for 20 years. I got to tell you, man, they look worse than some drug addicts. I mean, booze is... it's all a lie. Now weed's going to be like having a glass of wine pretty soon.
Yeah.
There's too much money.
Oh, absolutely.
So much. I mean, you're talking about, they have not, you talk about a business venture. Wall Street has not even put their tippy toe into the water of the weed business yet. They have not done it. When it goes public, it's going to be insane. They're going to make what the dealers were making. Gambling. Another vice.
Look at sports betting. They never expected that much money
would
come in when they started, with the sports betting.
Yeah.
I did an interview with Albert Chen. He's a senior editor for Sports Illustrated.
Right.
Wrote a book called $1 Billion Fantasy, and it's the story of FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah.
And you would think like these big football experts or gambling guys started. A couple of nerds in Scotland.
Right.
Guy and his wife.
That's all these.
In Boston, a couple of nerds.
Startups like that, yeah.
And, she's making $10 million deals while the kids are in Harry Potter land. It was an amazing story. And you look at what happened, how big it got.
Bookies are always going to make money on some level because you don't have to lay out the cash with a bookie. That's what's so scary about a book. With legal gambling, you got to go and you got to give them the money.
Give me credit card.
Right, exactly.
We got you.
But with a bookie, you call Bachagaloop in Staten Island.
You know him too?
I dealt with a lot of those guys, and you had a number and a nickname. I was Gabagool for 37. You back in the 80s, waiting on a pay phone. What's the line on a Redskin game? Blah blah blah. You had you could just say, "Give me $5,000 on a game," and before you know it, if you lose, now Bachagaloop's after you with a bat, and you owe him $5,000. With the legal guys,
the payment plan was very dangerous.
But the VIG is 27%. which is 3% more than the books were charging. The books were like 24, 25. It's 27% the government's charging. So they're going to make insane money. Prohibition with Al Capone. They're like, why are we letting Al Capone make all the money?
Yeah.
You know?
That's what's betting in Jersey. Just tap in. It's
weed. Well, I mean, listen, again, I think most people are... Heroin, I hate to say this, is very available. It's all over the place. It's all... If you know what you're doing, if you know how to move, and you know dealers... You could get it like you buy alcohol. You could get it. I think most smart people who aren't addicts aren't going to do it anyway. Why not tax it? Why tax it and make all that money? People are going to do it anyway. If you're going to allow
Other
liquor,
countries do it.
Of course.
And why not? You know, just make it all legal. You make your own decisions.
Look at Amsterdam.
Yeah.
They don't care. They let adults be adults. The thing about this country found a way to make money off so-called, I want to save your life. What do you want to save my life for? If I'm not hurting somebody else, let me do what I'm going to do. If I'm not mature, yeah, I mean, you know what? Tax it, make money, and I don't know, feed the poor. You could feed every poor, starving child on the planet with the tax on blow. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. You're going to hang out. We're going to do a little trivia next hour, like we did last time, and then we get people. We had all these people waiting to talk to you. We'll give you a question, give you a chance to win tickets to the swap meet. So don't go anywhere. 1-800-283-101.5. Steve Trevlise, Artie Lange is here. Kevin Mira is here, CEO of City of Angels.
Sorry, Mike.
And you are here.
Have something to say? New Jersey 101.5? Speak your mind now at 800-283-1015.
Drive time is 10:08. I'm Steve Trevlise.
And now the show that asks the musical question, what else do we know about New Jersey? It's Jersey Trivia with your host, voted the most trivial man in New Jersey. I'm sorry, that's Trivial Steve Trevlise.
By the way, Dennis and Judy send their love.
I love Dennis and Judy. Love right back.
That's Dennis there on the vocals. Artie Lange has music and movies. So if you pick those categories, Artie will ask you a question. I've got New Jersey 101.5. Kevin Mira's got television. Promo Joe, he joins us for New Jersey. How you guys doing? And the way this works is we ask you the question, multiple choice, music, movies, television, New Jersey 101.5. If you get it right, a 4-pack, not just 2 passes, a 4-pack of passes to the 43rd Annual Fall Swap Meet and Car Show at Raceway Park in Englishtown.
There you go.
Running this weekend, Friday through Sunday, September 29th. You know, so many people have been waiting just to say hi to you.
No, it's
just
nice.
And a girl that you went to high school with.
Really?
Do you remember Gina?
There's a few Ginas.
Okay, well, there's
a few Ginas. A lot of high ties.
This is the Gina. This is the one Gina that stands out. Isn't that right, Gina?
Absolutely. Do you remember which Gina this is?
Well, there was Gina Caruso.
That's it.
Hey!
He wins the trivia.
Let me tell you something.
We got to give him the prize.
Gina Caruso wasn't as hot. Absolutely. Very, very pretty girl. How you doing, Jane?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm so glad to hear that you're doing well, and I just wanted to call in and say, you know how much everybody loves you. Everybody's always pulling for you.
Yeah.
Union has such a great, just the foundation that we've built there. We will go on forever, always being supportive of you and always loving you.
That's right, Gina. Well, you're very sweet. I appreciate it. I appreciate the call. She was a cheerleader at Kiwami.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Look at you getting cheerleaders in high school.
Well, I didn't get anything. She was very friendly. That was about it.
Now she'll talk to you.
But yeah, exactly. Gina, thank you, sweetie.
Hey, Gina, you want a question?
You want a trivia question?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
What's your category? Music, movies, television, New Jersey 101.5. Artie's got the movies and the music.
Movies and music.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna try to do right by my old classmate here. All right. I'll give you one and hopefully you get it. You ready for this?
Sure.
All right. What famous musician made a cameo as himself in the end of the movie The Wedding Singer? Lenny Kravitz, Billy Idol, Paul McCartney, or Billy Joel?
Oh, God.
Whatever you do, Don't go to a white wedding later and dance with yourself.
It is Billy Idol.
It's amazing.
Is he allowed to do that, Steve?
Well, you know.
She's one
was
of
a
my
cheerleader.
She's one of my homies.
She was a homie and a cheerleader.
All right. Someone's got to keep the rules here.
There you go,
There
Jay.
you go. Let's go to Dan is in Summit on New Jersey 101.5. Dan, not a cheerleader. Hello,
Yeah, right.
Dan.
I hope not.
What's up, Lang?
What's going on?
How you been?
I know it. What are you doing in Summit?
I live here now.
Well, I didn't get the Dan flyer. When did that happen?
Sorry, you've been a little busy the last 8 months.
Yeah.
For 8 months, look what happens.
They let you in Summit? Don't they have police blotters over there?
I changed my last name.
That's
His name is
fantastic.
Trump.
His last name was the Man.
Oh, okay.
D-boy.
Hey, man, I'm really proud of you, dude.
Well, listen, thank you. I'm proud of you for getting a Summit. That's a nice town. How's your mom doing?
She stopped crying now that she saw your picture.
Oh, wow. Me and this kid had Saturday detention every Saturday.
Oh, really?
For about 4 straight years. I would pick him up, and his hair would freeze in the shower. I would pick him up in January. We'd be late for Saturday detention, just like the Breakfast Club. And he would take a shower like a January morning. You get my 1974 AMC Matador. It cost me $300. And he would get in, and his hair would freeze. He looked like Snow Miser.
I did.
And we'd get there, and we would sit down, and you weren't allowed to make any noise. And some of the black students would throw pretzels at Dan with mustard on it. One time, the mustard hit his face. He looked like an Irish Indian with war paint on. Yeah.
You want a question?
You want a question? Well, Dan's good. You want music, right?
Yeah, go ahead, all right, shoot.
All right. You know what? I'm going to try. He knows this guy. He knows a lot about music. Okay, I got you. You ready?
Go ahead.
Name the classic album. Oh, wow. Oh, wait a minute. In what song does Bruce Springsteen spend half his life covering up? Cover Me, The Rising, Born in the USA, or Rosalita? Spend half his life.
Cover me.
No.
Spend half your life just to cover it up now. Born in. Oh,
Right. Oh, that's right.
It was a trick question. It was a trick question. I cover me. Spend half my life just to cover it up.
I remember. We were at the concert together. Remember? I remember.
Born in the USA.
Now he remembers.
Dan owes me $48,000.
Oh, I got to put him back then.
I love that.
All right.
Be good, buddy.
Let's go to Mary Ann is in Somerset. What's happening, kiddo?
Hey, how are you doing, Steve?
Good. How you doing?
Kevin.
Hey, Mary, how are you?
Good. I don't have Ginger with me tonight, though.
Oh, by the way, I was outside smoking a cigarette, and some guy named Pete pulls up in a pickup truck and goes, tell Steve I'm on hold.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He was very nice. He said, Artie, you could do it.
This is what it's like. Yeah. This is what it's like.
Yeah.
That's why we stay inside.
That's right. I made the mistake of standing under the light.
Did you sign his truck?
He was a nice guy. If I see him on the way out, I don't want any trouble.
All right, Mary Ann, you want a question?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
What's your category?
We'll do music. I'll try this again.
All right, Artie Lange with the music.
All right, okay, this one, a chick should know this because it's Bon Jovi. You ready? Where does Gina work in Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer? The bank, the diner, unemployment office, or as a stripper?
I have no idea. You know I don't, right?
You want to take a guess?
Give me the options again.
Okay, you know what? I don't even know which is the right answer. It doesn't really say it here.
Don't worry, I know it.
Steve knows.
Where does Gina work in Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer? Oh, Living on a Prayer. Okay. Bank, diner, unemployment office, or as a stripper? She's Googling it.
You guys know this. Every time I call, I knew the other answer. Last time you guys gave me the answer, and then...
Come on,
people are screaming from the Parkway.
What broad doesn't know everything about a Bon Jovi?
don't know. I have no idea where she works. How about a diner?
Oh, look at this. How about that? Pulls it out at the last second.
Why not? That's a good guess. See, good.
Yeah, really?
Good logic. He used logic.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie, I have a prediction for you.
Johnny used to work on the docks. I know that. And living on a pier.
Nobody's going to pick us.
How do you know?
It's just a prediction.
Okay, we'll see. See, by the way,
I've known 2 to 3 callers so far.
He just got back in his house from the pickup truck. It's Pete and Ewing.
There he is.
Yeah, that's what you get from living across the street from me.
It's a very personal show.
Telescope, he points over here.
Yeah.
All right. You want a question?
All right. Sure. I mean, I've been on hold this long. Why not?
Well, it's worth it, right? You know, we got the listen line in there.
You want movie, music, or TV?
I'm glad I got to say what I wanted to say to Artie, though.
He was very nice.
Really?
He was very nice outside.
Every word of it.
He asked you for money?
He said, "You want to buy some weed?"
Oh, I see.
No.
If that ain't heartfelt, I don't know what is.
He was very nice.
I don't share that. I'm sorry.
No, okay. All right. So you're in Ewing. And you want
like in the development across the street from there.
He's going to give you directions.
You want a music trivia, TV trivia,
Sure,
music.
I'm going to get it wrong, but we'll do it.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 38.
All right, 38. Let me give you something from your stupid generation. All right. All right. He's not going to know anything about the Smithereens.
They're coming in 2 weeks.
I love the Smithereens, but he might not know that. All right. Name the New Jersey singer who started in a duo called Tom and Jerry. Paul Simon, John Bon Jovi, Springsteen, or Frankie Valli?
Paul Simon.
Yeah, look at it.
There you go.
Wow, look at that.
Very nice.
Giving them away.
All right, 1-800-283-101.5. We got Roy, and we got Ron, and we got room for you. It's Trevor, your music, movies, television, New Jersey 101.5. You get it right, you get a 4-pack of passes to the 43rd annual Fall Swap Meet and Car Show at Englishtown's Raceway Park, running Friday, September 27th through the 29th. Whether you want to connect with other owners, look for hard to find parts and accessories, or just appreciate American classics and modified vehicles, this is the place to be. What's the coolest car you ever had?
Well, when I started making some money, I talk about an Italian from Jersey. My first car that I shipped to Beverly Hills was a black Eldorado.
Oh,
a black Cadillac Eldorado with Jersey plates. People thought I was in the Lucchese family. I almost hit David Spade's Range Rover in Beverly Hills. And he called me up and he goes, first of all, who do you think you are? Don Corleone. I'm way more important than you in show business. I'll kick you out of L.A. Yeah, I had a black Eldo. Oh, that was my favorite car, black Eldo.
All right, it's fast traffic. 1-800-283-101.5. Steve Trevlise. Trivia. Artie Lange in the house. Kevin Meara in the house. Promo Joe in the house. Actually, there's me and Kevin Meara now. The rest of them are outside. We got to corral them and get them back in here.
I'm here.
All right. So, music, movies, television, New Jersey 101.5 are the categories. You are playing for a 4-pack of passes to the 43rd annual Fall Swap Meet and Car Show at the Englishtown Raceway Park this weekend, September 27th through Sunday, September the 29th. I've been stalling until you got back.
Raceway Park. See, he's a pro, this guy. He's a pro.
He's doing impressions here. Try to come back.
Raceway Park.
There you go.
I got to ask you, we were talking about this during the break.
Yeah.
Like, when you go back into the wedding, you're starting your stand-up tour next week, right?
October 4th and 5th. Well, this upcoming third, a week from tomorrow, right. October 3rd, I'm at the Hoboken Comedy Festival.
Stevens Steakhouse?
Yeah, Arthur's Steakhouse. They're putting a stage in the back. So I'm doing that October 3rd. October 4th, I'm outside of Albany at a theater. October 5th, I'm outside of Albany at another theater. Then the weekend after that, my birthday weekend, October 11th and 12th.
Hey.
I will be at Governor's in Long Island, a great club. And then I'm at the great Vinnie Brand. He's got a great club in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Stress Factory after that. I'm in Providence, Rhode Island, so I'm back, yeah.
Look at you. Now, when you get out there, man, you're gonna have to keep on this straight and narrow. You're gonna be in the world where everybody's gonna be coming after you again.
It's part of my struggle. Everybody's got their own thing, you know. I gotta have the only answer is a network around me of people that are doing it too. A network of people that, like Kevin brought up, they got a sober coach, life coach. I got a great sponsor and I got great people around me. So what am I gonna do? Again, one day at a time. Yeah. I never did it that way. That was my mistake. I always said I put pressure on myself. I can never do drugs. I just got to do it one day at a time. But I can't not perform. That is your drug. You on stage is the drug. You're such a great storyteller. You're amazing live. Well, I can't. Listen, I can't do anything else either. That's the thing. I'm not going to become an interior decorator. I have to do what I got to do. So I got to just try to do it. A lot of people are going to, my track record, they're not going to be in your corner a lot, but I got a lot of great people in my corner too. So you got to do the Artie Lange movie. Yeah, well, it's a happy ending. Yeah, you're right.
So who plays Artie Lange?
Yeah, exactly. Someone's got to play. I'm too old. He hasn't been born yet. I'm too old to play Artie Lange. You got to get him groomed. Yeah. All right, let's go to Ron. I'm working on a massage with a happy ending. That's it. One happy ending at a time. Yeah. That's what we got to do. This one at a time. Ron is in Hamilton on New Jersey 101.5. Hi, Ron.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, when is his birthday? October what?
October 11th. He wants to start shopping.
12.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Columbus Day. Yeah, right around Columbus Day, yeah. Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah. The Yankees will be in the playoffs, so I'm gonna enjoy that.
All right. Well, listen, happy birthday.
You too, buddy.
Happy birthday, man.
You too, bro.
Let's go with movies because I don't win when I do New Jersey. I don't know why.
All right, this one. Let me tell you. How old are you? How old are you going to be October 12th?
I'm going to be 50 years old.
All right, dude. You should know this. Then you should know this. I'm going to give you one I think is easy.
Oh boy, here we go.
You ready? Name the city. Name the city where Marlon Brando takes a beating and on the waterfront. Jersey City, Guttenberg, Hoboken, or Bayonne.
I want to say Hoboken.
You are right.
Wow.
You are right. Do you live near that spot? Well, Hoboken's only 1 square mile. Right. So I live in the development that is right on the waterfront. Like now, where it's all these yuppies from Indiana who work on Wall Street. That's all my building is. All these rich people from Wall Street, from the Midwest. Right where my building is, that's where they shot the movie. Oh, right there. There used to be a place up there called the Union Club. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, my parents were friends with the people that owned the Union Club. Right. My old man, we'd go up there for parties and stuff. My old man would get loaded, and I'd take him outside for a walk. Yeah. And he and I'd be walking down that cobblestone street. You know what this is? Yeah. This is where Marlon Brando took the beating on the waterfront. My father's last memory of his dad, my father's dad, who worked at Otis Elevator, died when my dad was 11. Mm-hmm. The last memory my old man has of him was going to Hoboken and watching him shoot on the waterfront. My father was 11 years old, and he remembers, he pointed out, he goes, that's Marlon Brando. My father remembers his dad saying that. Oh, man. And then he was dead like a week later. Yeah. You do any on the waterfront movie? Right, I'll give you Lee J. Cobb. I'm going to do this on Artie Lange's movie quote soon. Okay. Here's Lee J. Cobb, 2 of my favorite things he says on the waterfront. Listen, kid, I'm a soft touch too. Ask can he run me down at the dock if I'm not good for a fin anytime he puts the arm on me. But my mother raised the 8 of us on a stinking watchman's pension. And this crummy cheesy Doyle thinks he's going to ruin it. Well, figure it out. Listen, it's simple. Drive him out to this place we've been using. Try to convince him on the way. If you don't, give him the Jerry G. There's nobody tough anymore. Oh, man. All right. That's Lee J. Cobb.
Your mind works at a different level than other people's minds.
A lower level.
Man.
Bottom basement.
He was naming all his dates. I can't remember what I got to do tomorrow, and he named 37 dates.
I don't know how I know this. I don't know how I know this. You give me the year between 1949 and 2003. So basically the last half of the 20th century. Give me the year. I'll give you the 2 teams in the World Series and who won. Any year. And what was the year again? Any year. From 49 to 2000. 49 to 2000. Give me a year. I'll give you 1968. In 1968, the Detroit Tigers beat the Cardinals. You're right. Wow. That's right. You're all right. Look at this. He's a guy, right? Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, the Cardinals beat the Al Kaline Tigers beat the Cardinals. 70. In 1970, the Baltimore Orioles beat the Reds.
You're right. In 71, it was Pittsburgh.
In 71, Pittsburgh beat the Orioles.
Steve Bless.
That's right. Roberto Clemente.
What year did you start following the Yankees?
76, when I was about
right time,
8 years old, because I loved Thurman Munson. They got in the series. In 76, they lost to the Reds in 4 games. 77, I went to the series with my old man. He threw me on the field. That's when Reggie hit the 3 homers.
Yeah.
I was at that game. I was at that game. My old man threw me on the field.
Oh, right.
And if you watch the footage of that, the place goes crazy. Yeah. And I'm right in the middle of the chaos. I felt like Willem Dafoe at the end of Platoon. And my old man said, I'll meet you at shortstop. 20 minutes later, I'm 10 years old. He finds me at shortstop.
Do you remember Manny's Baseball Land?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Right, because back then, now, you go on, you can find anything anywhere logo-wise. Back then, the only place you could get it was Manny's Baseball Land.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. The internet has changed the game. You can find stuff online that you can only find at like little stores back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, kids, again, you talk about kids' brains. They don't have to memorize directions anymore. Because of GPS. A kid can't find their ass without GPS. They don't know where their mom lives without GPS. Yeah. And you don't have to remember phone numbers. I remember phone numbers which I related to sports. Like if you tell me 12 isn't a number, I go Joe Namath. Like if something's 12:15, I go Namath Munson. Kids don't have to do that anymore. They don't have to use that part of their brain.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, so.
Do you ever like when you try to go to sleep and you do jersey numbers?
Oh yeah.
Who has 1? Who has 2? Who has 3?
Yeah. Or exit numbers. What's 138? What's 140?
That's a jersey thing.
Yeah, that's a very jersey thing.
It is 10:30. 800-283-101.5. Steve Trevlise. Artie Lange is in the house.
Hey, Steve.
We got one more segment with you.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll be honest with you. I was outside having a cigarette again, and I got a message from my probation officer. Got to go in tomorrow for a random urine.
You want some? We'll send you.
I bought that whole dance. People buy clean urine from people. Lawrence Taylor has a great story. The urine that got him kicked out of the NFL, he bought from a guy. He bought dirty urine.
Do you remember a movie called The Program?
Yes. With James Caan, right?
Right, with James Caan, the football movie.
Yeah. No, listen, I got to stay good. But I'm so glad I got a chance to do this. I was sharing with you in about, I think, 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to announce a Philadelphia area gig, probably in Philly. And I was asking Steve, hopefully Steve could come and perform with me.
Absolutely.
We'll get the great Bob Levy, and I'll come in, I'll do like 3 hours. We'll do the show, we'll promote it, and have a blast with the 101.5.
Got it, man. This is your second home. You're here, and you're welcome anytime. I'll have garlic nuts. Take some home. You
it's a great setup.
Put them in your
man.
pocket.
Cheesesteak flavored garlic nuts.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Pepperoni.
Kids don't realize there was just like there were 2 types of pizza, pepperoni and plain. Now you can get macaroni, pineapple. Medigon stuff.
All right, let's get Roy and Wayne on New Jersey 101.5. Hey, Roy.
Good evening, Steve. Good evening, Artie.
Hey.
Nice to have you back.
Thanks, buddy.
You ready? Pick a category.
Let's go with movies.
All right.
Movies, Artie.
All right. I got to get it going for him here. You know what? I'm going to make one up.
Okay. Okay.
All right. In what movie do I get into a huge argument over women we had sex with in high school with a guy named Manganelli?
Hey, Artie, I only know one movie you've been in.
What is it?
Which I think was an hysterical movie.
What?
It was a Beer Fest, but I don't know any other movies you've been in.
I'll give it to him. It was Beer League.
All right.
I'll give it to him.
Beer Fest. Beer Fest.
You know what it's all about my bad luck? The weekend my movie Beer League comes out, they come out with a movie Beer Fest.
I know. I remember
2 beer
that.
movies.
Yeah. What are the odds?
The fact that this guy even knew beer was in it, you got to give him him pride.
Roy's a good guy. He's got sons in the military. He looks at
anything he needs.
Let's go to Hugh in Ambler. This guy's worth nothing. Forget about it. This guy had no children. Hugh, what's going on?
Yo, Trev, man. Great show, buddy.
Thank you. Say hello to Artie.
But I got to tell Artie, listen, Artie, this comes from the heart, my friend. I don't really know your past.
Good. I wish you were a cop.
Got a couple hours?
Exactly.
But this guy, Steve Trevlise, and I'm part of his audience.
Yeah.
We pray for you, my friend.
Oh, that's very nice. Steve Trevlise is what we used to call good people. Good man.
People.
Yeah.
He's good people. I've heard your name many times, and but listen, I got to say one thing about what I heard earlier in the last hour.
Yeah.
And some people, I know drug addiction, alcoholism, all these things, but when I heard Artie say, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Gratitude really is what it's all about.
Nah, dude,
Absolutely.
that's very perceptive of this guy. He's right, because that's the biggest thing they teach you. And my counselor, again, this woman Sarah at Turning Point, big shout out to her. She said you got to work on one core issue thing, and the biggest thing was gratitude. Like, I have a lot to be grateful for. I do.
Yeah, because you know what? It's not about being narcissistic.
Right.
Or I'm better than anybody else. It's about being grateful for the gifts that you have.
Thank you. And you're right. That's the whole thing, man. The whole thing. And
Right,
because
buddy?
if you're really grateful for something, you don't want to screw it up. You know.
Exactly.
So,
He's angling for the
know
easy
what?
question. You notice this, man. Listen to this. Listen to this.
But because you know that, Artie, you're healed, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
You are going to do fine, okay? And that's a big learning lesson.
I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
There's your recovery coach right there.
What do we do now? Should I win some tickets, or what are we going to do here?
You want music or movies or television or New Jersey 101.5? Artie's got the music and the movies.
I really hate movies. I'm a pretty good music guy. Let me go with music.
All right, music.
All right, there we go.
All right. Let's see.
And no Springsteen crap.
Wow, you're
They
tough.
pick their own stuff here, you know?
You are tough. All right. The men's. Okay. Okay, you ready?
All right, here we go, buddy.
Name the personality who's also a mobile disc jockey. Bob Williams, Judy Franco, Christopher Knight, or Dan Tantillo?
That's a 101.5 question.
That's a 101.5
It's
music
close
question.
enough.
That's a New Jersey thing, man.
Yeah.
So you got to take a guess.
Name the
Okay,
personality.
hold on. Give me him again, Artie.
Name the personality who's also a mobile disc jockey. Bob Williams, Judy Franco, Christopher Knight, or Dan Tantillo?
Who the hell's Don Dantillo?
Dan Tantillo.
I'll take him, man.
That would be a...
No.
I was hoping it was Judy Franco.
Oh, she loves you, man.
Oh, I love Judy.
They, Rick, you were the Yankee broadcaster in Spanish.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a guy named Ricky Ricardo.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
And he's...
It's just so ridiculous.
Right? No, it is real, but he changed his name, right? Ricky
Yeah,
Ricardo comes from Union City.
Oh,
and,
wow.
He also does the Eagle broadcasts.
Oh, okay.
And he did the broadcast when the Bear kicker missed the field goal.
Uh-huh.
And he's doing it in Spanish.
That's
great. That's where this came from.
No, senor! No, senor!
Going nuts in the booth. So I cut it up and brought it down here.
Eagle fans are scary. They're scary.
God.
You can't mess with Eagle fans.
That's why I work 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's talk to Pat is in Woodbridge on New Jersey 101.5. Hey, Pat.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing real well. Glad to see everyone's doing well over there, too.
Thanks, Pat.
What's your category, my friend?
Let's go with music.
Music. All right. I'm trying to find this. The music. The music. I got all 101.5 questions here. Okay, wait, I got it.
Yeah, try to.
No,
that's me messing it up.
Music. All right. You know what? I'm going to give him. You don't want a Jersey question? Are you good with Jersey questions?
Sure, whatever you got.
He's easy.
What New Jersey town did Bruce Springsteen grow up in?
Not a Springsteen guy. Hey, it's not Asbury, is it?
That's close enough. It's Freehold. It's right there. It's right there.
It's a suburb of Asbury Park. Hey, you got to get out of here. Wait to see that happen.
Steve, let me tell you something. I love you so much. Thank you for everything. I will be back soon. I got to go do my thing. I got to get up tomorrow. Kevin, thank you so much, buddy.
Yes, sir.
To everyone in the audience, thank you. To Judy Franco, Dennis, everybody here at the 101.5 family. I'm gonna book a gig in Philly. Steve's gonna be involved, and I'll be back soon enough. Stop. Thank you, Steve.
Love you too.
I love you, buddy.
See you soon.
All right. Take care.